we will be talking about something as elusive actually as self-love in a difficult time, like we are in perhaps now. And this is not a new novel by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, not at all, and not like Love in the Time of Cholera, but it sort of sounds like it. Anyway, no. If you're anything like me, you have grown a little bit tired of self-love in the form of bubble baths and face masks right now. It's not really cutting it as self-love anymore. And also things like, nourishing your body, moving your body, all of that stuff. It's great. It's great to have there, but it's not maybe all that we need. We might need to start digging a little bit deeper when it comes to self-love right now, because we've been at this game for quite a while, and none of us really know how to keep going with this. So let's dig a little deeper when it comes to self-love. And this was a great reminder. I'm so happy that this topic came up as a suggestion, or that you guys voted for this topic, because I really needed a reminder of this right now, because I've been slipping on my own self-love routine. So the research for this week's episode was great for me, and to kickstart some thought processes up here so that I can maybe get back on track. So how do we sink a little bit deeper into self-love? Well, it is actually, a lot of it is a mindset shift. And if you know me and if you followed me for a while, you know that I have a whole presentation on mindset shifts, but this is specific to self-love, which is not so much talked about in that presentation. So let's go. Point number 1 is really, you are enough. Let that sink in. You are enough. Whether you've been reinventing yourself in these past couple of weeks during lockdowns and isolations, or you've had a 7-8 week long Netflix marathon, it doesn't matter. You're still enough. It doesn't matter how you feel. All feelings are okay. You're still enough. It is completely okay to feel whatever it is that you are feeling. And we have to get to a point where we can see the world out of enoughness. I love that word, enoughness. How cool is that? But, that also means things like limiting your media consumption, for example. All these news flashes everywhere about spreading and this and that and politics and blah and economics, blah, 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 all this stuff. Turn that shit off. Check it maybe once a day if you're really interested, but don't have it flashing in your face the whole time. The same with social media. Make sure that you take social media breaks, because otherwise you may go a little bit loopier than you have to during this time. Also, at the same time, be honest with how you are feeling. Don't sweep anything under the rug. It takes courage to face your own feelings, absolutely, but that is a part of self-love, facing what you're actually feeling. It also gives you a chance to show that authenticity that so many of us are willing to show and want to show. And it's very good for us, I think, to come a little bit more down to earth, a little more home to us, both in terms of self-love, but also in terms of authenticity. So I really encourage you to really feel what you're feeling. If you want to talk about this with anyone, reach out to someone that you are, that you trust, that you love, that you know will hold your space for you. And if you don't really have anyone like that in your life, seek professional help, because that is also very beneficial. Another point is definitely let go of that darn perfectionism. Perfectionism is nothing. It's nothing apart from what will people think. It doesn't have to be perfect. You show up as you. Hello. You show up authentically, courageously, talk about your feelings, talk about what's happening in your life right now. And perfectionism is just a fake shield against some perceived criticism, which is not even, it's not worth your time or your effort to try to be perfect. Just be you. You are enough. Remember, you are enough. And with this being enough also comes self-talk. Check in on your self-talk. Are you talking to yourself like you're an idiot? Or are you talking to yourself like you're talking to someone you love? Because that is where we have to get to. And that is the ultimate showing of self-love, is to be able to talk to yourself in a positive, kind way. And I'm telling you, yes, it's not some kind of easy fix. It's not easy to do this. This is a daily routine that you have to get going with, or you don't have to, but I invite you to be kinder to yourself. It's also important, I think, not to shut down in a crisis like this. Dare to feel these feelings. Don't bottle them up, like I said before, because you know that they're gonna explode somewhere else. If you're anything like me, you know they're gonna explode somewhere else. Also, remember that positivity is a choice. Try to stay positive throughout this. And this is not just in terms of this, and to sound like a cliche, not at all, but this is your entire outlook on life. And this is really a mindset shift from sort of, oh, blah, 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 why me? I can't do anything, to, seeing the positive sides of life. And this is called a growth mindset. And as I said, positivity is a choice, and it is also the greatest lesson you can learn for life. Try to see things a little bit more positively, and if you can't see the whole situation, just see bits of it a little bit more positively. You know what? Get creative. Whether that's painting, whether that's journaling, whether that's doodling, whether that is recording yourself singing, whether that is, or actually just singing and then recording yourself singing, whether that's making funny videos online, whether that is dancing to your favorite song. Just get creative and get out of that, very intentional, very thoughtful mindset. Just let go a little bit, and I will promise you that you will feel better about yourself very soon. You can also ask yourself, of course, what can I learn from this? Every crisis comes with a little bit of a lesson or a learning or something that we can improve. And I think there's a whole lot of things we can improve in life right now if we want to, or that life will improve for us a little bit later. But this is very important because that is also part of the growth mindset. This is where your mindset can grow and be longer and smoother, but can be bigger so that you can interpret things in a different way. Remember that this can lead you to create a purpose for yourself if you haven't found your purpose yet, your why. And remember that your progress is still progress, even if it's very, very slow. And really, you can slow down as slow as you want. You can speed up as fast as you want. It's only your own race. You're not competing against anyone. Don't compare with anyone. Just what can you learn from this crisis? Also, I think something that is very important to acknowledge in these times is gratitude. And that goes a little bit together with the point of staying positive, and also about you being enough, because really there are always things to be grateful for and to show gratitude for. And that's why I find it very, very important to, for example, meditate regularly. You can do that with apps, you can do that on YouTube, you can do that just in silence, you can do that with some soundscape. Fantastic. But that can really help you organize your gratitude a little bit better. Then another question to ask yourself is, what can you control in this situation? It doesn't matter if you can't control the whole situation, because no one can. No one knows what we're handling. No one knows how this is going to play out. No one knows what's happening next. But what can you control in this situation? Perhaps it is your reactions. Perhaps it is to nourish your body properly. Perhaps it is to hydrate your body properly. Small things like that, they all add up so that you feel more in control of yourself and your own situation. And how about today you think about what you what you are instead of what you are not. And this goes really hand in hand with the control thing, that you really, think about all the beautiful, wonderful things that you are. Stay positive, you are enough, and what can you control? And look how far you've come. Look at the person that got into this, well, not chosen, but this forced mess about 2 months ago. Who was that person? Were you perhaps stressed out of mind, running between meetings, crazily just stressing around everywhere, and now you've had the time to sort of breathe and relax and perhaps even make a few plans for the future? It depends. But ask yourself, how far have you come just through these past few weeks? Make sure that you build up your community, or a community at least. Join a community, because if you have the right people around you, if you surround yourself with the right people, you can also get the right support for you. That's really important, I find, because we're not alone in this. We're all in the same boat, so to speak, and we can really help each other. So find a community that supports you. And then almost the most important one after you're enough is be kind to yourself. Make sure that you know that you are a priority, and this sort of connects the mind and the body and engages it in something else, but just, news flashes everywhere, and especially if you haven't turned them off yet, which you really should. Anyway, make sure that you celebrate the smallest of things. It's not easy to find them sometimes, but if you really, really look, as I said, there's always something to be thankful for. So celebrate the smallest of successes. And then another super, super, super duper important one is forgive. Forgive both yourself for whatever perceived shit that you think that you've caused. Whether it is in this crisis or in the past or currently or whatever. Forgive yourself and others, because we're all going through a really difficult time. And this was definitely the thing that made me realize that I needed to revisit this whole self-love on a deeper level thing, was really that I realized that I have a lot of my past self to give a little bit more credit than I have so far. So this is my version of self-love right now, is I give myself credit for past achievements and things that I've done before. And I found this quote that was fantastic. It goes, "You gotta learn to love yourself. It's the realest love you can get." And how true is that? No one can love you as fiercely and as fantastically as you can yourself. And if you keep on dwelling on and badgering yourself for past mistakes, it won't help you grow at all. It actually diminishes you and your personality. So make sure that you are able to give yourself some well-deserved credit for stuff that you've achieved in the past. Also, I had a few tips if you want to get deeper into this. I have 3 books and 1 documentary that I suggest that you check out. The first one is a book called The Extreme Art of Self-Love by Cheryl Richardson. It's fantastic. You can learn a little bit more about different ways of showing yourself self-love and setting boundaries and all of these things that are so important for us. The second one is, I really love this book. This is my favorite non-fiction, my favorite fictional book, technically. It's The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It is a fantastic little look into how we can, what magic is out there, and it switches your brain off from fact to opening up a little bit more. The third recommendation is actually a book by Marie Forleo, which is Everything is Figure-Outable. And so also during difficult times. Self-love during difficult times is also figure-outable. It's not hopeless. I promise you can definitely do it. And a little documentary, if you anyways are surfing Netflix these days, how about you check out The Call to Courage with Brené Brown. It's fantastic and also goes along with these sort of notes that I've been giving you today. What is your favorite tip of going a little bit deeper in terms of self-love? Share it with me somewhere on the internet and I'll be happy to chat with you there. Until next time, when we will apparently be talking about alcohol and diabetes. Bye bye.